Klar.
But more guys, like if you do something more guys and something positive, you'll support it. But more guys they'll support you for real. I don't know. Mari, the working environment, super. Just the people from outside, the influencers, so it puts our people under pressure because they answer to those people. So, Mari, let me tell you something. Like, yeah, I've worked with Lebatwakai.
Yeah.
Those guys are very good. But when I
It's the Dope on the Street 0101C podcast. Thank you for tuning in.
Hi, it's Bunny Flakes from Cool Town. You're listening to It's Dope on the Street 01C podcast.
My name is the boy Skinny Rubber Carbonated 01C, and you're chilling here on It's Dope on the Street 01C podcast. Yeah. Dumelang o dumedise le ga mogana ke mosimo le mokhutsana ka seemo yo motala o twe o mo kwena yo reng ga bua tao be di rora ko moseja moretsi go gae gonggong ka tso lebetse gone nna ke moromo kone mme ba go nkitse ba mpitsa ke Skinny Robo K01C ke mogasi wa gago wa morato wa mo It's Dope on the Street 01C podcast. We'll keep it real, we'll keep it live, we'll keep it 100% dope bofeto re kwano mo extension form chana re kitile ka kwano le my king how's it? Thank you my king. How about you go makaya na go no my king?
Alright, dumelang ka leina ke Godwin Policy Offense Swarts. Ba ntse ba ditse ka Ghost
Mr Ghost.
Yeah,
thank you Mickey. Oh yeah. Ke le boga mesi go mo mphile le opportunity go go dula le wena go mpile.
No, na ke le boga opportunity there wena o ifile.
Thank you Mickey.
Ke interview.
Oh yeah.
I mean, the second podcast interview and fine, the first one.
Exactly Mickey.
Thanks again for that. I think I call the boga le one.
Thank you Mickey. I go go agana your friend. Thank you Mickey. Yeah. If le handsome we ga yone e amazing. On not le go thing for modeling.
Yeah, Maki. I'm a former model, former pageant model.
Yeah.
I'm titled Mr. Classic. I've done a few pageants along the way. Yeah, I'm a former model. I've experienced in the modeling.
That's dope, my dear. Yeah. So what is amazing? What actually inspired you to be in modeling back in the days?
Maki, now let me tell you something, King. People always say I'm a snazzy dresser.
Oh yeah,
I'm a snazzy dresser. I'm not into fashion, but I'm into style.
Oh yeah, my king.
You know the style. I'm a snazzy dresser.
Yeah.
I think it comes in it's in the DNA for my family, both my paternal and my mother side, or maternal side. Mm-hmm. My grandfather was snazzy dressers. Yeah. My father was also a snazzy dresser.
His pictures on social media. Like, what's on the king?
Yeah, I'm like the dressing, everything, my king. And I was a few days back. Funny this. A few days back, actually, the photos are my great grandfather, Mr. Swarts Senior, and then my grandfather from my paternal side. Swarts is my mother's maternal side. So, and I looked at these two old timers, and I'm like, these guys were snazzy dressers.
Straight,
okay, this guy runs in the day. It's not like
exactly.
So, going back to your question of what inspired me.
Yeah,
and I had friends and friends saying, when I got TV, there was this other lady, she once said, hey, why didn't you try this? Yeah. And shout out to Albakwe Romeo. He's the one who introduced me to modeling. Mr. Mafiking in 2017. That's dope. It was held in 2016. He took me there and and then we went there. Unfortunately, due to personal reasons, he couldn't continue the competition. But it was my first competition in 2017. I was in the top 10. It was my first ever competition. I had no idea what I was doing.
Who was doing there?
Then, and let me tell you something, he supported me right from the start. Then the same year I went and entered Mr. Winter Classic. And the pageant organizer, Les Commoner, he called me and said, we have this other competition. Please come, because I remember that first one, we knew what their best upcoming model. And we went to Winter Classic. And Winter Classic, I won the competition. I still got the medals. And I won it. And I realized that I really like dressing up for winter. Even though I cannot even dressing up for winter
It's something that you go with.
So I like style. I like dressing up stylish. I follow classic guys, classic dressers, such things like that.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome.
The journey that you went through.
And I think the first time I started communicating though, and it was 2021, 2022.
Yeah, 2022.
When I was competing more Mr. IBC.
Yeah.
And can I tell you something, Kim?
Yeah, I'm okay.
About Batwakas?
Yeah.
I remember the competition started in December.
Yeah, okay.
And I was 2 weeks late to register. And I talked to the pageant director. Hey, man, I've been out of the game for very long, but I just came from Tembisa to compete at Tembisa. I was number 2.
Yeah.
I was the first person. Can you please squeeze me in? I know you are late. You are late, you cannot enter.
Yeah.
Meaning they're voting Facebook, SMS.
Sure.
I'm out of the competition. And 3 months later, he texts me for WhatsApp. I remember we have a month left before competition. Can I squeeze you in? I'm like, squeeze it in. And he's like, yes.
Yeah.
And I agreed. I said, okay. I agree. And that same day, he gave me a link. Sure. There were 15. No, we were 20. We were at the beginning, we were like 20 the contestants.
Yeah, okay.
And when I came in, there were a lot of contestants, and I had 0 votes on the first day.
Yeah.
20 votes. And I went to Colorado to be one of the guys by Pusha.
Yeah, I remember the time.
And can you believe, King, in a space of a day, I was in the top 10 very votes. But like, if you do something more kasi and something positive, you'll support it. But they'll support you. I don't know. I've never heard the thing but they support.
They always support.
It's about how we're now. Let me tell you, King, I was number 10 by the end of the day, and I can't more packet. You can so much for the chance you, and I was number 10.
Yeah.
King. In a month, I was number 2.
Number 2, I remember. Who was that?
Who's that guy from Budi?
Yeah.
What his name
was Lebs or something.
Lebhang. Yeah. And actually, in Lebhang, we are colleagues. Do you know that?
Wow, that's dope.
He's a clerk more Department of Justice.
Wow. That's dope, Mikey.
So that's how we became friends. There was this guy, Mantam Botis from Port.
Yeah.
He was number 3.
Yeah.
And Lebhang had 5,000 votes, so it was impossible to catch him.
Exactly.
But Mandla was number 2, and I was coming for him and he said I'll never catch him. But can you believe they were the one communicating the Mandla
for you, Mikey.
And they came for him like we killed him.
Everybody should give him a shout out. And they should keep on doing it with it. Support something let them make you want to walk on the street, even if they won't say we, but like that, oh yeah, drop a K every day, like it brings an inspiration. Like to whatever doing can to know shout out for that support them to my team. I appreciate it, Becky. Yeah. So maybe most of your memorable memories your career. So I want to know how you are from what actually made you maybe to move.
Can I be brutally honest?
Yes, my king.
I know maybe I'm going to discourage the younger generation to exam and stuff like that. The pageant world and the modeling world. I have a friend, or should I say an ex? He's also a model. Let me tell you, it's a very, 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 very dirty or brutal world because it's one of the most corrupt industries still in Korea. You will come across you won't realize for it. At the end of the day, King, the models, the modeler, the people who do the work, we don't gain, we lose. We lose financially. You lose a lot, my king. Let me tell you something, my king. The first thing that should have opened my eyes. I remember Mr. Winter Classic. King, you are given a task. You have to sell 10 tickets.
Yeah.
Tickets is 200. If you don't sell those 10 tickets, the judge did not consider in the top 5. Already, it's how much? It's 1,000. 250 at 1.2, 1.250.
Yeah.
1.250. Then we have to buy clothes to get on the stage. And so you have to look presentable. You have to cut your hair. You have to buy underwear because you look at the swimwear. There's something that calls swimwear.
You see the one with
it's almost, let's say you go to Matrita.
you can
Spain. Then you have to remember that day, the most of the pageants they are held in big cities. Not high, most of the time it's out of Mafia. Because it's at the other times. You have to travel there. And you're going to spend the whole day because you cannot travel to Kumi and back there in the same day. It's a waste of money, it's a waste of time. You've already spent 4,000. If you I always make sure I come back the same day. It's a necessary expenditure. I mean, it's fiscally, not physically, but fiscally responsible for that. For traveling, you can just come back. Then making you get there, they say you win. And guess you win a ticket.
Okay.
A ticket. Yeah, how much about Miss SA? Yeah. They finally idols. Okay. Man, I just want. It's not a ticket. It's a piece of paper typing in. They've won this. Okay. Right? You have to pay for your own transport. You have to pay for your own accommodation, clothing. I understand. Accommodation and food. So what have you actually won?
Nothing.
You've won nothing.
Nothing. Yeah.
So I was like, and I got a few medals.
Yeah. It's more like when you can just write for yourself, say, I want to go and watch those people.
Then you get to the stage.
Oh, yeah.
You know, there's so much corruption happening there. You get to the stage and you outperform everyone on the stage.
Yeah.
That one any gets up a vote.
Yeah.
I remember I still have videos on my phone. I was on fire most stations. I mean, the guys I could wear up on the we're not scared. Those moves. They practice the move. You a busy girl and then we get on stage. You just slay us.
Yeah.
And can you imagine making that guy he was number 1 on the voting
panel.
He was supposed to have won the award there most popular.
Yes.
That one he deserved.
Yeah, for
Do you know that he didn't get it? A lady from the girl side, who had least votes than me, most popular model.
It's not fair.
Then the guy with the least votes, that guy had 7 votes.
Okay.
He won the competition. He won the competition like
because Left Side really was on the top.
He was
again. I remember
that pissed him off. He stopped everything. Yeah. I remember these people that like a taxi. Then I had people that took a taxi
for support.
And people were cheering. I remember how we turned around. Repalami first come at the first ramp.
Yeah.
It was introduction. You say your name and everything.
Yeah.
And everybody was on their Momo Tungaba.
Yeah.
I remember I was dressed by Rehan.
Oh yeah.
Shout out to Bralagi.
Oh yeah.
Dressed again.
Yeah.
And we got on stage and everybody was like,
Yeah.
Then came Sumo.
Yeah.
Sumo, everybody, I was second last. Sumo, everybody was coming on stage.
Yeah.
When I got on stage, and but they won the right side. They were screaming G.
Yeah.
And everyone was like
the crowd starting to
they go
the name now.
But this guy is doing what he's doing on stage. They were like, I remember I even laughed on stage. The way back in the cheer thing. I was flowing on stage.
Yeah.
We got backstage and the guys were like, well, then they go, then came the final one.
Yeah.
There I knew what
Exactly.
I was flowing on stage.
Yeah.
I've been practicing this move.
Yeah.
And I was killing. I remember everyone more that room.
Yeah.
I was cheering.
Exactly.
And came that thing about the top 10. I remember Kirgis got another 20.
Yeah.
Only 15 came to the competition. Then he said the top 10. Yeah. It's in the top 10. I told him top 8. It was the top 8. Top 5.
Yeah. You're still there.
I'm still there.
Yeah.
Top 3. I'm still there.
Yay. Okay.
Top 2. I'm not there. You know what happened, Chief? The whole crowd here, so I went.
It's that.
While they were announcing the winners, the hall was empty. The auditorium was empty. Everybody
Like, even yeah,
because they were like, everybody walked out. I remember how did talk about these two guys in the bad swallow like how could you go talk to the winner? Yeah. I was walking past the stage and there was nobody there. Those guys was never on the stage in the charge.
Mikey.
And I'm like, hey man, I meet these people, I met people from Buti, the white left.
Yeah.
And they came to me from Faranjaka. We expected you were gonna win. And but I was so furious. They were so furious outside. They explained how does this thing work? And let me talk to him. This is competition. Let's just
let everything.
And I think that's what killed Lesco events. Actually, that opulent Lesco events because a lot of corruption was going on. We went to the second one. I said, let me try them again. It was worse. We saw Shelter Fit. This guy, the guy, and he won the competition. Wow.
Yeah.
And king of all the pageants. There's Utiaka. Oh, he's from Tembisa.
Yeah.
I call him the Wolf. When he started his own pageant in African era. It's the most. It was the first. It was a bit late, but it was. He ran it so professional. All the guys who were in the top 5, they received the gifts. Yeah. So you didn't win, but this is
at least an appreciation token to say.
Even I go 20 classics. It's one of the best. And there's this other guy, Hassan Brown. He runs pageants. Chop shape. Those guys, they run this pageant. They are very good, and they've asked me to come bigger. I should accept this pageant. In Northwest, they've killed the. I went to modeling school. And I met girls back on my feet, and they were like, "Learn at Chocolate School." I'm gonna name names. You learn at Chocolate School. I said, the spirit. He killed those guys back to let me just encourage and not say your child and besides, the girls they receive this thing and the sexual favors. To get this, you need to sleep with this person. Majida, Majida, they don't know it. I don't have anything about anything against gays, lesbians, and stuff like that. But now, this thing I go by this pageant director's going to give you the case. And you will hear Majida Bang about it. Now they've never come to me.
Okay.
Yeah, Majida Bang, they've told me about it. We told me what this guy's what about the and I could see it. So now I'm more of a serious guy.
It happens that same making of where people get jobs through sexual activities, and then I think
that's where incompetence is. Because you chose somebody over feeling, let me say, a PJ over somebody who can really do the job.
Exactly.
Competency, if it's like you find the manager that's replicated incompetent because they got jobs through sexual favors. That's what's killing our society nowadays. Getting sexual favors, bribery. That's why we create community safari. And community safari because of leadership via sexual favors, not via Spanish.
Intellectual from you. This ball, he pushes it to this direction.
Bribery and sexual favors, they're not only more the corporate world, they're more pageantry. Even Pakistan thinking in the Department of Justice, there's a lot of. I used to I worked in the regional court. I've worked regional court for many years. I've worked on something called and King. There's so much bad things happening. Where you will be doing a plain job. And then there'll come somebody who don't have a spanner and you like. And that person gets in court, sits in front, sits most students as the interpreter, and that person can't do the job. The magistrate chases the guy out of the court. This person can't do it. Who brought this guy?
This guy,
because
what's
and then
so there's a lot of fevers also.
they'll say, "We want, let me see, Rabata Drav. Where's Drav? Drav, okay, and you'll find out, no, Drav, okay, wasn't hired permanently. And so you learn not permanently because I took it insist now. And then you'll feel like, that's why I moved back from, I used to stay for a few, for I think 4 years in Gauteng. I was looking around the Gauteng courts as an interpreter. And then I said, let me go back. And I came back home. Spana as an education assistant. As an education, then just Colini called me. But I'm with the interpreter. I went. And we worked with Spana great. Very not until the same thing happened where now people from outside by influence about Colini try and check me out and start saying, how does this guy get paid so much money? Mari, the working environment, super. Just the people from outside by influence. So it puts our people under pressure because they answer to those people. Mari, let me tell you something. Like, I've worked with Lebatua. Those guys. But when I never say this, and people never say this, Mokasi. Sandy Lomusway. That time, he called me, Jaspana Lane. That time I worked so many times. Then that time, he's a Sudra. Shout out to Yanni because no, we're doing many interviews. He's an interpreter. I wish Baba can, but don't get him. They, that's why he's a current talent because he's gonna tease them out. Even the magistrate guy. Tip top shape. The staff guy, very dope. They'll make sure you get but I already had experience from movies one. So I just had to adjust to the new environment.
But they make it in a very nice and very comfortable.
They made it sure shout out to them when just that people at the top are the ones that are covered. And then you'll find people to go about to and people will be like, if it no, we enjoy our I can't explain Span politics.
Exactly.
This is what's happening.
So most of the people know you are the person of fitness, like fitness. What actually inspired this thing? Like when we into this thing, this sister. Anna, interview Mr. Swarts.
No, actually, fitness is in the blood. Let me explain this. My father is a former pro boxer. Professional, so he was a professional boxer. I even fought a Sahel as a professional boxer. He was a professional boxer. Right now, he's a professional fitness trainer. Trains aerobics full time. Now he's 50 something. How come check? You won't see my mother 50 something. He's now a professional fitness trainer.
That's dope.
Up until kids are matric, I wasn't into fitness. Then I have a friend in Yakichi. Then I met them by the Spanish Supunya, these foreigners. And they were lifting cement. There is cement. I said, "Got a human loan agent. Then and I got hooked. Then I remember getting college to I went for 6 months. I came back. I went back to train with them. Until the company got money in a bullet out. It's now full time. Then he called me one day, Mr. And he said, "Listen, what gym? No. Come to a real gym. It's a guy, which you mean. Which you mean, and then I got introduced slowly into the sport. Then I went. Then again, Youth Center. Then they took us on a course. People don't know this. Yeah, personal training. Again, at level 1, even though I haven't even received my certificate. Maybe because the teacher don't receive level 2. So level 2, I was already gone. I couldn't get there. So when I went to Randfontein to live there, I was living with my father's family. Now I was full time at the time. So he said, "Let me teach you the full spectrum. The human anatomy. How to train how to train a human being. What is training actually? It's not just training is not just training is a lot. There's a lot to do with mentality. How do you prepare mentally? How do you train people of different body sizes? You have to understand the human body and so on. Then I started doing that. Then that's when I started on another passion to train about. I came back, I sat for a few months and I said, but I can't say. I always have to go back to the gym. Exactly. And I went back to the, and let me tell you something. I've taken a little experience by a training because I've trained high school. I played rugby. Let me tell you something. Rugby fitness setting.
Very tight. Very tight.
Fitness setting. Remember rugby season I started. You had to do 2 weeks here fitness. Then I played cricket. I'm an avid cricket player. I play cricket. So I've trained with cricket trainers. Then after that, I've trained with soccer. I played at the Betco school on the so everyone had to play soccer. You played it even though
you had to do it.
Then after that, my father is a former pro boxer. So sometimes it'd be called Kuchimisa boxers. And I go with them to help him train them. And that's when I learned boxers train this way. And I've trained with other former pro boxers. And I've had experience. Boxers train like this, rugby players train like this, and professional training like this. And my father trains. People don't know. My father also trains football professionals. The time he was Santa Zala professional. He was training for me time. Ungezi Bobe, the former Black Leopards play captain, he was there. With this current player, Pirates, from he's training go me time during off season. So I trained it professional for a very long time. Then my father said, "I'm going to take you to a place. They call it Sparta. It's a gym. But it's a small gym. Garage. One size a garage. Pro bodybuilders. There are two. They are not gym there's a gym. That's what I was training most of the time. Called creation. There everybody's training. That's Sparta. Sparta, it's bodybuilders. King. There you'll find real bodybuilders. King. I'm machine. They have security. Then I trained with them for a space of 3 months because my father said I wanted you to learn how different people train, how bodybuilders train this way, and fitness people train this way, and I trained
this way.
I trained with my comrades marathon. I know how do they train for long distance. I even ran with them. I used to run with them. So I've trained with a lot of. So I have a lot of experience. That's why most of he brought this young boy to me and said, "I have a problem. This boy is heavy. He's a heavyweight. You need to tone his weight down because he struggles to find opponents. Because most of the opponents they are light. So he's around 87, 88 kilograms. So coach said, Coach I can't. I don't know what to do. Take this boy. I didn't go 75. And I said, okay, then he has to do what I say he must do. Then train. And the boy he's fluctuating around 73, 75. Wow. Took him from 85. Dropped him down. He has to go back to boxing. I don't know. I want to stay here. Because that's what I learned. The 3 years I stayed with my father, he taught me a lot about training. And one thing about food, people don't understand the food you eat. The food you eat is very, very, very important as well because you are what you put inside. You're putting inside. So people don't understand what you eat is very important, especially how training. You have to know what you're doing. So I was fortunate. My mother is a was para the ambulance.
Oh, yeah.
She's an on-road doctor. I doctor the ambulance.
Okay.
Literally.
That's
And I don't want to mention that because
Yeah.
mention this because I've had a relationship with a medical professional nurse.
Oh, yeah.
So she shout out to her because she the importance of a diet.
Oh, yeah.
For it. I used to do what they call dirty bulking. Like dirty bulking, I want to gain weight fast. I can make you gain weight in a space of, let's say, 3 weeks.
Yeah.
But I make you, it will make you sick after that. So I do it like when I go for competitions somewhat.
Oh, yeah.
Because I know after more then I go. But now it makes you sick because you've been putting so much rubbish in your body.
Yeah.
It makes sure that's something like you learn. Like you go to Google, then you learn okay, if I drink a glass of Coke 2 times a day, let's say 2 glasses of Coke or 2 glasses of Coke every day, and get chips every single day, because it's slender.
Yeah.
Then I go to the gym and I eat these things every day. It's either pizza, chips, chips, something's not fat.
Yeah.
I'd gain I'd go from 58 kilos to 65. Like I gained that much weight.
Wow.
Then but then when I stop, I become sick.
Yeah, I'm knowing
I had a problem with stomach ulcer because the fat and the acid. So the problem the stomach ulcer. Then she said, no, man, let's take there's this diet the TB patients.
Yeah.
The doctor
Yeah.
So you take it, then let's see how back.
Yeah.
Then I watched there was this, I think it was there's an interview, it was a podcast episode.
Yeah.
I always follow this fitness guys.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of Mike Tyson.
Oh yeah.
And I'm also a big fan of Evander Holyfield.
Yeah.
They got with the physics
Very.
So I learned that Evander went from 80 kilos, I think, to 90. He went from cruiserweight to heavyweight. And I wanted to know how did this guy, because the way his body changed.
Yeah.
And I read that they make sure every 3 hours you eat something. And my father once told me that you make sure every 3 hours you eat something, not bulks of food, but small portions. I got a body, you have a small fast metabolism. Body fast. So how can you buy about 12?
Yeah.
So instead of for a way, you eat small portions every 3 hours. You manipulate the body into thinking it's eating small food, and actually you're packing in calories, and so on. So I said to the lady, my ex, and she said, in the morning, first thing when you wake up, you have a full glass of water to get your body running.
Yeah.
Then 6 o'clock, have your first meal, and I'll have maybe toast with anything or peanut butter. Peanut butter is very good. Like, you want to gain mass. Then 6 seconds. Then 3 hours, it's 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
So I'd make sure for contest like a 9. Yeah. So I'm going to work. So I'd get a oats. Yeah. Get a more bagging with fruit. Get a fruit. Then I make sure like I get before after say Asia. Yeah. And then get your fruit. Then 9, 10, 11, 12. I make sure 12 o'clock go on to get lunch. I don't catch up. I leave normal lunch. Yeah. Then 4 o'clock before get gymming because most of the time get chase again. Yeah. So I know let me eat kaf. Let me push my gym to 4 to Then I know kaf 4 I left 2 boiled eggs or 3 boiled eggs after you say meat. Lots of food you go to gym. It's your everyday and you should check. People don't understand why. People don't understand why but chefs they eat very very good for your body. For real, man. Which is you offer that energy out for it. I you want to get so you have to eat again. It's not oats. Wow. It's the same thing. So I always said I make sure I can have my belly and my belly can mix a peanut butter and I eat it. Yeah. So people don't understand my belly. If you want to gain weight, that weight they will then you have to people don't understand for it. Things like smoke. My father taught me for it. Smoke is dangerous.
Yeah.
I smoke cigars,
Yeah. I know making.
which is something say it's a bad habit.
Yeah.
I'm not really an alcohol drinker, but I'm a cigar lover.
Yeah.
But my father always tells me, this thing has to do, that's why I smoke sometimes.
Yeah,
Smoke, my father told me, smoke messes up with your blood flow.
Okay. Sure.
He asked me, let me ask you this question. Have you seen Legana or Nigeria?
Nah.
It's rare.
Yeah. Nah. I haven't.
They make us if blood moving,
But they don't
smoke.
Yeah.
And they have time.
Sure. But everybody is different. One day, correctly.
Like you'll never see those guys smoke.
Yeah.
Because they know it messes your the smoke gets in your veins, in your blood flow, and so on. And how GMO get TP? Remember, for your muscle to pump, blood has to flow. So how does your muscle pump when the smoke it disturbs that is there? And alcohol and smoke, they mess up with your appetite. When you drink too much, you eat less.
Exactly.
How you level tackling?
Oh, there was a stand up with the
Solo.
Yeah.
If we don't go over the job, we're going to go to the
Exactly.
Omo je jutsi ntsho na jole ngesa ayiko je we are trying to make up for the places of the missions during the day on time. So that's what people don't. I learned that's what I learned about and fitness saved me because I'm an asthmatic.
Yeah.
I'm asthmatic. Because
Yeah.
So to get back one day I was sorry guys, my mother took me what I fall again. No, he's again to
Yeah.
and marathons, long distance.
Yeah.
Arabula mafasa.
Yeah.
And from there on, I said, I'm never leaving the gym.
Yeah.
I'm cured to gym. So
Instead of
that's why I fell in love with the gym because of curing me my asthma. It kind of for a long time I wasn't making the case. Can I just hello, Pa? Eba. Bago buwan ako ma. Kita buwan lebo. Yeah, that's how I fell in love with fitness. It saved my health, so that's why I fell in love with fitness. I rarely drank. Maybe the last time I drank was 2 weeks back. I was in PE. So I drank before we were left, but there I wasn't drinking. I choose cigars over alcohol. I choose them any day.
Yeah, little making me say that alcohol is not my friend. Even with the don't go unless somebody really on car take him a company.
Like I'm like that.
Yeah.
The last time I went to Lanjani, it was what do we call it? The construction party.
Oh, I remember
because event. So I was there to support him. Now normally we can take it.
Exactly.
I'm really there. Yeah. I smoke cigars because cigars are like a breathing exercise.
Yeah.
It's more like yoga. People do yoga.
Yeah.
I do cigars. Yeah. Because it gives you time to reflect. And I don't just smoke.
Yeah.
What I usually do is I get to a cigar. It means I'm celebrating
something. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. It's either you're out there on an event or there's something happening.
Even on events, I don't like smoking them publicly because people will think I'm obnoxious or something.
Oh yeah.
There are people who think cigars like cigarettes.
Yeah.
No. Cigars also one cost like say 3 to 5. So I can escape and it's something you can just share. So I always like to do it in my private space.
Yeah.
Or sometimes at good top events.
Exactly.
I don't like doing it where it's crowded.
Exactly.
I like sitting down and enjoy. Sometimes I just sit on my veranda. I was sitting down. We don't smoke that.
Exactly.
Because so I always smoke it when I reflect and I say, okay, I've achieved this up to so far. Let me just celebrate smoke because it's something that takes like 30 minutes to get down. So you can smoke way more little, but it's not something to
So, Meji, how do you navigate this thing as we speak about smoking now? You mentioned how you can how they smoke and stuff like that. So, how do you navigate this thing in the township where like everybody's now smoking? How do you navigate this thing, making?
Navigate it out, please. Tell me.
I can't know what I may got a good thing to do, maybe that we practicing or the results will be different than because like I had an episode yesterday, Brad City. I was asking him about did he really quit smoking drugs? He said it's nice when you don't overdo something. As you just explained, you don't smoke, overdo it, but at least but in the township, like everybody is using
For me, it's abnormal. It's abnormal because, like I can example, our generation, the majority of our generation refuses care. Even though we're at university, but out of our generations, Mokasi, we have doctors, nurses, we have all kinds of professionals. We have you. You're a podcast. You're the first radio DJ out of Kasiaro.
Exactly.
That's the
face.
You're the first DJ. Everybody who's coming will be coming after
me.
Even the podcast. You're the first to do a podcast. People talk about podcasts, but they never really done it until I know I did. I remember I even shared it on my wall, your Facebook. There's a new podcast that I'm It's the first time I saw something really different. The big ups making over. I think there's the generation I know. Not in my street, but I can show you this street. More than 10 into one. Before they even reach high school. And they my book opposite Badula. Find them and I think it's bad because we won't have our generation is the last to come out of any professional.
Okay. In future won't have any professional.
We won't have professional.
Mr. Textile said on another podcast actually. He said in the future we're gonna malady about over 50. But I'm like the Madalanya in the township.
True that.
It's really heartbreaking.
It's heartbreaking because no, we have this. That's the problem we are facing looking for it. So in our generation, the hot man is now most of the time you value the hot man. They were smoking, but never can clap on when like it's give or I wouldn't do that. Even alcohol. Those guys would drink. They would take me base of dry. I would drink juice or coke. They'd be drinking alcohol. I only started drinking and smoking. I like somebody the hot man said, "I'm like, doesn't mean."
I think the mode of respect is down now. Is also not letting any respect.
But now the system has killed everything at the right. You can't even you can't even hit your own child. I'm not saying hitting a child is right, but you can't discipline your child. The system is the reason of this because nobody can be why is always a flop almost no, you cannot do that direct child abuse. So it's bad because for the 10 years from now
somebody I remember 2022 somebody in Larry in future the hospital on the bomb society like Bobo Frita the next generation
I mean generation one of the generation you see it's not something they are doing it in a different way. I don't know the thing is the investment for black people now only more opportunities to invest for black people. So these are the society. I don't think they are gonna work anymore because now you can take your own money to the bank. So I think that's why it's changed. And coming to Mirapelo, I think everybody's starting to have different views and kind of religion. People are starting to see things from a different light. We're gonna have less people in churches now. And I think I might get a lot of heat for this, but I think why do we black people? I'm gonna say specifically black people. Why do we have mega churches? Big churches, but we don't build schools,
Sure. You don't build company.
universities,
Yeah.
colleges.
Sure.
Study black people.
Yeah,
Like what we build is either we build a church or
Or a
we build
tavern.
a tavern.
Mm.
I saw this post on Facebook and it infuriates me when I see people they'll post on Facebook. This certain white individual is a businessman go down.
Yeah.
He's treating black people this way.
Yeah.
Okay?
Mhm.
And I'll be like, and some people give a telling what they have money
Yeah.
to start businesses.
Sure.
But when they had money, or because they have money,
Mhm.
instead they went and invested in alcohol.
Sure.
That's what.
Yeah.
The white guy owning a garage never called you to say, go sell a petrol in the garage. You go with
Go
the
in,
education.
because
You are the one
need
who
the
need
service.
it.
Yeah.
Because when you have money, you don't do such things. Your investment is on black ignorance.
Sure.
Once what? Let me tell you, black ignorance is $1 million industry. Black ignorance is $1 million industry.
For real, because you can spend something like 50 rand or something. And then the next day you go, hey, mona, hey, 50 more, let's another 150. Wait, it's done.
I was talking to he's my neighbor. And you're like, we don't realize that a senior shelter young go. You don't need to take a 200 rand for everything. You can take a 70 rand and come back down.
Sure.
The 200 rand
exactly.
you're wasting it.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I've never wasted. I've wasted a lot of times in life, but I won't realize now how black ignorance is a $1 million industry for the other races.
For real,
Now the
Yeah.
Chinese, and the what do you call it?
Ethiopian
Ethiopians, and the what do you call these other guys?
Bangladesh.
Bangladeshi.
Yeah. We can even see. Yeah.
They've realized we're so invested in alcohol poison.
Sure.
They're making their own fakes.
Sure.
Yeah.
Your cigarettes, your alcohol, they know something. You
know, my father once said something. He said, "Do you know during apartheid, the early years of apartheid, black people were not allowed to drink beer. They were not allowed to smoke cigarettes. They were not allowed to drink whiskey or spirits. What do you call it? Vodka.
Only that African beers.
Only African beer and horseshoe, whatever you call it."
Yeah.
And I asked him why. He said because the white felt that it's something for top class. Then if the blacks get this, it's called like class. And I asked him, then what changed it? He said, no, Andrew Kurfur. I said, yes, he's the former prime minister or president. I don't know between the two. He said that guy, but one of engineer party smart. Most of them barely psychology.
Okay.
He realized every weekend I can buy my boy, meaning my current boy, whiskey.
Yeah.
And this guy, whenever I say no whiskey, no, you know what he does? He becomes somebody else. But the magistrate always he says, after the third beer, you become another money. You become another guy. You don't understand that. You get out of order. And what the thing? I don't want. And that thing is poison. It's going to kill you. So remember, we black people in families are 6 kids. It's big families, and my father 2 children, 1 kid. They don't really go there to 5. So they realize, these people don't fit like a population. They want to hit us. But let's give them this poison because cigarettes are fair. And that thing is dangerous. Let's give them this poison. Because they can't in a mess matter. Then there are let's give them poison. They don't want to
making a square because they want these Bangladesh people. They don't smoke. They don't.
It's few
Exactly. Yeah.
Then he opened. Black people started getting beer, and then that's where they fucked up.
Exactly.
He said, they killed them. But the thing
it's working.
I'm a huge fan of because he's my role model. He said the reason why apartheid ended is because they were fighting against sober black women.
Yeah.
It's a sober black women who marched to the parliament can pass.
Sober. Exactly.
It's a sober black woman. this is true. This is true because they were sober.
Yeah.
I can't agree much on
Abone.
No, yeah,
So, but Achilo,
I
want to say this is good. If you have a Katari, to do
you know, there's this new trend. Which I like South Africans. They make trends, but if they made these trends like Americans, if they make these trends make money for them,
it's making it would have been taking us very far.
Yeah. Like no, everything is about rebufunyali.
Correctly making. And then I guess these people are not even aware of some statement they generate money. Remember the statement like your COVID. People made a lot of money about COVID. Yeah, there was also this thing as well as other guy who came up with this thing at school.
I know, yeah.
He started. So we can get paid for such things, but you see, so like other people don't see these things as generally most of battle on daily basis, really character on themselves. Mare, expose it. It's making.
I came up with this idea more Zaidi. That's why I said you should please, man. Please sit down with Zaidi. You can come to my place.
Oh yeah.
You sit down.
Yeah.
And I want Zaidi for the camera because let me tell you, Zaidi pictures
very clean.
Very dope. Very
dope.
You sit down with Zaidi, then you take somebody like Meshka. He's a talkative guy. You do something like that podcast Text Champs.
Oh yeah, Mickey.
Yeah, Text Champs. We sit on the table and we have conversations. And you realize some people are so intelligent, but the intelligence they hide behind comedy.
Oh yeah,
he hides behind
comedy.
Because you'll realize very, if you listen beyond the message and you realize intelligent the message, then we can make it like the ideas you've been sharing before we started. We can make a lot of revenue that's on. You can make a lot of revenue that's on. Let's try this. If you only cut this thing, this guy, this thing a competition.
It's gonna kill us, Mickey.
Because people we see Babluaki, I read this book. I love this book. I've read this book more than 10 times.
Yeah, Mickey.
It's called The 48 Rules of Power.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
I never read it. Yeah.
I live by that book. It's my Bible. It's not today, but it's my Bible.
Yeah.
And they said we should stop chasing immediate gratification.
Oh,
think long term. Because short term results create short term. It's called short term plans. Create short term results. So this thing it's a short term thinking. It's a short term thinking because if
save house number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, it doesn't only
and 6 it's
going another making you see. That's how we have to move forward. I think this thing black society, the reason why they are so poor and so I cannot, because education doesn't generate money anyway. So they're just becoming poor because of they're judging with one another. Then you're starting more and then lose self-esteem more. And then you have covered because of at the end of the day that's because of I
don't know if you know when we see there's this guy called Coach Fire.
Oh yeah,
Dion Sanders. You should Google Dion Sanders and watch his motivation.
Yeah.
He's a former American football star. He played football professional level, baseball professional. He was a star. What makes you think I give a damn about your opinion of me? Because your opinion of me doesn't define
who am I?
Hey, what makes you think I give a damn about your opinion? I'm sorry. Because making of it something, then at the end of the day, whatever makes you be looking there,
still gonna get
you're not gonna lose an ounce of your blood or something. Just when I do whatever I do, I don't care for Mangaring. As long as I keep on tricky, at the end of the day,
somewhere in life.
That's why I get it. Some things, that's why if it's hard to do mass, we never say but
Yeah. But
started this business.
Yeah.
Started this business.
Yeah. What they are living, they're drinking, when you're sitting there having a stress.
So how do you say, like, have confidence.
Yeah.
This thing about what we say, let me say, for example, then you say it's your side hustle. It's not a side hustle. It's a business.
It's a business.
Why call it a side hustle? It's a business. Be confident. People will tell you what I'm very confident. I'm confident because I'm taking care of I can do it.
No matter what, you're gonna do it.
I'm gonna do it.
And I know you're a self-driven person. Like you make sure and you're a leader. How do something you lead?
You lead by example. And you should learn from it. You know, I like leading because that's where you see your weaknesses.
Yeah.
You go flop and I was smoking. You should go and say, man, how do you never realize your weaknesses?
Yeah.
What's hard somebody weaknesses? So you have to sometimes go now I'm one guy. I always tell people I'm not here to get a piece of the cake.
Yeah.
I'm here to take the whole cake.
The cake, you'll check out fair. Yeah.
I'm not here to cruise, I'm here to conquer.
Exactly.
Yeah. I'm when I get to a meeting, I'm a shark. I get to a connecting, I'm a lion. I get to a chameleon, I can change.
Because of the one thing relaxation. You'll be relaxing, not doing anything, and you feel like I'm with the special, yeah. But when we what do you do? Not doing something. It's wrong.
It's wrong. When I wrote the claim. Was speak.
What do you do exactly.
Baba, let me tell you something.
Yeah.
My uncle, the eldest Swarts.
Yeah.
Swarts, the only three of us. It's my uncle. It's my great. It's not my uncle. It's my great uncle.
Yeah.
It's actually my grandfather.
Yeah.
Because Nakaha, my grandmother.
Yeah.
Even his son, who is my uncle, then Kim.
Yeah.
Now what? Yeah. This eldest one, he's a good get.
Yeah.
That time I get high school. And he was one of the best salesmen.
Wow.
How much have you done?
Yes.
That time was super smart.
Yeah.
Because he's a go-getter.
Yeah.
I remember the time Khalima Mutlanti was a deputy, then Beji stepped down, so he had to be for the remaining term.
Yeah.
I have a photo. I like Parliament and Khalima Mutlanti. And that guy is not even a politician. He's not even a politician that time.
Exactly.
And even he's one of the guys who have a dressing style. Like I said, I'm a
Sure.
like that time.
Yeah, very smart. There's another conversation that I had with another lady. Hey grandma was also the smartest, like she now plays with the bank book. You remember when you growing up there?
Yeah.
So we keep asking why generation like even if somebody's working, I'm not an investor for the future. And I can do short-term goal all the time.
No, that's something I want to say. My great grandmother, the woman who is my great is my mother.
Yeah.
I always say that's a gangster lady. She was a gangster lady.
Yeah.
This house,
Yeah.
I inherited it from her. She wrote it in my name.
Oh yeah.
But that woman was she was a visionary. She
Yeah.
And she made sure she has a house with
Everything.
Oh, she's a woman who taught me life for her. She was strict.
Yeah, a go-getter.
That woman was strict.
Yeah.
Like she sometimes I feel
yeah.
But do you know the time she was the softest to me. My mother, my aunts, they'd be like, because she was very soft to me. Then I realized this woman was training me to be this. She knows I'm gonna be somebody, but she knows the only way to be that somebody is for her to keep me.
I would treat
Yeah. She say, When I go guys, I was working for an hotel.
Yeah.
She was like, when I go guys at the weekend.
Yeah.
I hold up where the Mohai.
Eh.
I don't do my pattern like the 2 months.
Eh.
This woman. Whatever she told me that I'm very, very thankful. May your soul rest in peace. I'm very, very grateful for Uma Kelly Swarts.
Yeah.
That's a gangster. And I was ready.
It's the
I was ready
Dope
like
on the Street 0101C podcast. Thank you for tuning